Well, if you had 2031 as the year you thought the Orioles were going to win the World Series, you were incorrect. So didn't even make it out of the ALDS. Lost in 4 games to the wild card Tigers, who then went on to lose in 7 games of the World Series to the wild card Brewers. The World Series was 2 wild card teams. Brewers won their second World Series in the last 4 years. And yeah, so to get to it, just kind of what happened. I mean, basically just didn't really hit for a few games. And then, was playing a really good offense, the best offense in the AL. We were the only offense that was better than mine. But so game 1 was just friggin' 1-0 game. It was an unearned run in the 5th on a base hit. The Tigers scored. And, Patino went 7 1/3. McKinley Moore came out and struck out all 5 batters he faced. Unearned run. Matt Manning, though, 9 innings, 4 hits, only 3 Ks. So put a ton of balls in play, but just nothing happened. Only had 4 hits. Ortega had 2 of the 4. And then we went on to game 2, where we lost 5-3. So Armendariz had a home run. That was about the only thing he did in the whole series. Same with Stewart, had a solo home run in this game. About the only thing he did in the whole series. Ortega went 2 for 4 again. Schilt was a little shaky. Walked 4 in 5 innings, gave up 4 runs. But then the bullpen held strong. Sanchez gave up 1 unearned run. And, so... Then we were in trouble at this point, down 2-0. Moore struck out 4 of the 5 batters that he retired, so he was striking out a lot of people. But then we bounced back. Game 3 bounced back. Maldonado had a big 3-run homer in the first, which was about the only thing he did in the series. If you notice a pattern here, a lot of my hitters only had like 1 moment. But Ortega went 4 for 5. He won MVP of the series, actually, in a losing effort. Armendariz went 2 for 5. Maldonado 1 for 5 with that big 3-run homer. Trujillo, my catcher, had a home run in this game. Corrales pitched all right. McKinley Moore came out and struck out 3 of the 4 guys that he got out, so he was awesome again. And yeah, so the bullpen held strong. I mean, take that start all day, but down 2-1 still at this point. And then game 4 happened. We jumped out, the Tigers jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Then we clawed our way back to go up 4-2, and we're cruising along. And then the 8th, they got a couple guys on, and then hit a 2-run homer off of Moore. Cloutier, who had led the league with 52 homers in the regular season, hit a 2-out 2-run homer to take it from 4-3 O's lead to 5-4 Tigers lead. And then we couldn't mount a comeback. Ortega 2 for 4 again. He had another triple. He had 2 triples in the series, 3 doubles. Armendariz didn't do anything. Maldonado had 1 hit. I mean, these are pretty rough numbers here, batting average wise. Stewart, not much there either. Gunnar Henderson did not have a hit in the series. Aguilar gave up a 2-run or a home run in the first inning to Cloutier, who then had the home run in the 8th inning, and he beamed the next guy, and the guy charged the mound, and he got thrown out. But then my bullpen was really good again. I mean, they pitched, they only gave up 3 runs the rest of the way, held it close, but just 4 runs isn't going to cut it. 0 runs, 3 runs, then 8's good, and then 4 runs. Just not enough from an offense that was really good. So disappointing, but man, playoffs are tough. Playoffs are weird. Playoffs are random. It was a really good team. Thought this might be the one, but hitters just went cold at the wrong time. So now moving into the offseason, I'm going to go ahead and... So Garcia's a free agent who I'll offer a qualifying offer to, and if he comes back for 1 year, I would definitely take that. He's wanting a 7-year deal at $15 million a year, which is definitely not going to happen at 31, but I'd have him come back and play second base again on a 1-year deal, but not going to go beyond that. I've got other replacements for him. Stewart will be back at third. Gunnar Henderson is a free agent, and this might be the end of the line for him as an Oriole. As a 30-year-old shortstop, who he could play other positions too, but really his value is a shortstop, but his range has started to slip to where that's not really necessarily good enough for a shortstop anymore. And he also wants 8 years, $206 million deal, so that's just not going to happen. I'll offer him a qualifying offer. He'll go somewhere else. My fans will be really upset because he's been with me forever. Ortega, Sanchez, Weinberger, Maldonado, all those guys will be back. And then I've also got one of the top prospects in baseball, who I will show you. Concepcion is his name. Concepcion. Where'd he go? Julio Concepcion. Number 8 prospect in baseball. He'll be an outfielder. So I'm going to have 4 really good outfielders in the Ortega, Sanchez, Weinberger combo I already have up there, and then this dude. So if it comes down to it, I could always move an outfielder in the offseason if I need to fill a hole at second base or shortstop. I could see going to try to get a really good shortstop and giving up a good player for it. We'll see what happens there, though. Pitching side of things, not too much will change. Patino, Schilt, Corrales, Aguilar, and then Donovan will all be back. So the rotation will probably look similar. McKinley Moore is a free agent after putting up 4.1 WAR as a reliever in 107 innings. He views himself as a starter. And at 33, well, actually, he's come down a good bit. Earlier in the year, he was looking for like a 6-year deal at $25 million per year. To be honest, on a short-term deal with how dominant he is, I would have no problem paying him $18 million per year for like 2 or 3 years if he'd go for it. Not sure that he would, but I'll see if he'll go for maybe a 3-year deal or something. I'd be willing to take that risk on him because he's just so freaking good. But otherwise, qualifying offer. Arujo will be back. Correa will be back and will compete for some starts, but all 5 of my starters are back, so he's on the outside looking in. And Cheto will be back. Andrews is a free agent. Meek has an option here. We'll see what happens. Feltman is a free agent, probably the end of the line for him. Sanchez, I have under team control for 1 more year. He's signed for 1 more year for like $10 million. I might have him in my bullpen as like a long man / 6th starter because I have the cash to do it. And even though he's probably like a 3rd or 4th starter on a lot of teams, having depth helps. Being a really good team allows my team to win 105 games. So, and then I also have a bunch of arms ready from the minor leagues as well. Emilio Caldera, my number 1 pitching prospect, number 88 in all of baseball, had a really nice season at AAA, 5 WAR. So he'll come up and probably pitch out of the bullpen and be ready for a rotation spot if I need one. I have some other guys down here in Norfolk too who will be ready. Jonathan Groves is a former 3rd-round pick who is ready to pitch out of the bullpen probably for me. Gomez will compete for a spot. Sacco Voog, Steve Martin, all these are young guys, and I'll probably have 2 or 3 spots open in my bullpen, so some of them will compete. And then Chris Sandoval, certainly, is he not rated as a part? He was the number 92 prospect in baseball at midseason, so he will compete for a job. If Garcia doesn't come back, I might try to have him platoon with Angeletta at second base and then sign a shortstop. But so Sandoval will be in the mix as well as Concepcion and all those pitchers. Other hitter-wise, I don't think anybody else will break camp with the team. So yeah, that's kind of the squad. Obviously disappointing to not win the World Series again, but man, whatever. Like I've said, a lot of playoffs can just be kind of random and can kind of be frustrating. In a 5-game series, the better team is not always going to win, and the Tigers were certainly not a better team than us, but they were better for those 4 games. That's for sure, and that's all that matters. But be back next season, trying to win it again, and I'll do some sort of update in the offseason too at some point here.
Hey, so I moved it forward a bit and had a few updates I figured I'd include in this same video. Awards we really cleaned up, man. Gold Glove, Trujillo, our catcher, won the Gold Glove. And reliever of the year, McKinley Moore, obviously got every first place vote. He put up 4.1 WAR as a reliever. Silver Slugger, Armendariz won it for first baseman, and Maldonado at DH. Rookie of the year, I was surprised by this. Ben Ortega won it. There was really no dominant rookie. And Steve Donovan, my number 5 starter, also got a few votes. Ortega, he only played 128 games because he was down for some of the year to manipulate his service time. He put up 2.5 WAR, which is solid, but I didn't think it would be enough to win Rookie of the Year. But yeah, I mean, nobody else really put up well. We got 2 from Nate Phillips. We got third place guy put up 2.3 WAR. Donovan, my number 5 starter, put up 3.6. He's probably like, man, what the heck? I deserve this. And his ratings are way up because he's listed as a reliever right now. He's not that good as a starter. And all right, and then Ben Schilt won the Cy Young, got 29 of the 30 first place votes, even though WAR-wise, he put up 4.7, but he led the league in wins. He won 21 games. He led the league in ERA, a few other categories. So some old school voters there. What's absurd is Jade Judkins. So Schilt put up how many WAR? What was it? 4.7. Judkins down here coming in 6th place put up 7.3 WAR. Like, okay. Let's see. McKinley Moore got a few votes. Oh, this guy's a reliever. I signed as an international free agent and then traded. And wow, he's absolutely dominant as a reliever for the Red Sox. I didn't realize that. He really struggled in a year for me in AAA and the majors. And I forget what I traded him for or why I traded him. Yeah, I traded him for 2 prospects. I think I just had a roster crunch in my bullpen. Man, 2.9, 3.0, and 4.6 WAR. Good Lord. So McKinley Moore got some votes for Cy Young, and that's it. None for Corrales or Patino, which is surprising. And then we also won MVP. We had 3 of the top 4 vote getters. Armendariz won it, Maldonado second, Schilt in 4th. McKinley Moore was on this list, got 9 second place votes. So man, this was a really good team. Just makes it even more of a bummer that they weren't able to pull it out in the postseason because as a rewards show, we were pretty dominant. A couple other quick things to update on here. I did re-sign McKinley Moore. Now he's a 33-year-old reliever, which is, and here he's listed as a starter. I'll get to that in a minute, why some of these are flipped around. So his ratings are down a little bit from what he is. He's an 80, I believe, as a reliever. But he's just so dominant that I was willing to take this chance on him. 3 years, $17.6 million per year. His last year is an option year. So, yeah. And he gets some bonuses for Cy Young and All-Star. And so, yeah, then there's like the Henderson, all those situations I talked about earlier. But Moore will be coming back for 3 more years. And then, so the big thing here is, man, my manager's awesome, but he changed his willingness to allow me to control the lineup and the pitching staff. So you can see this red means he retains full control, which is why like Moore is now listed as a starter, Donovan as a reliever, because that's where he thinks they should be. And I don't have any time for this guy now. I mean, he's maybe the best manager in baseball, one of them. He's led me to the playoffs 3 of his 4 years. We've won over 100 games, or 4 of his 5 years, right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's been here 4 years. Yeah, we've won 100 games in 2 of his 4 seasons. But I like to have full control over the line on the pitching staff. So honestly, I think I'm going to have to fire him. My manager who just led me to 105 wins. Yeah, and there's not a replacement who's as good as him out there. My AAA manager is pretty good, not as good, but he also, I had that backwards. He will allow me to control the lineups, but he's been in Norfolk and had a really good team many years. We'll see what he looks like here. It looks like he's not as good with the pitchers in terms of development, which is never a great thing. So we'll see. I mean, he's probably the leading candidate as of now, but yeah, I'm going to have to fire my manager because he's not going to let me control the lineups, and I don't have any patience for that. So yeah, that's all for this one. I'll be back with another one soon.